So Toy Story is my favorite. And because it is so favorite, I like to try and collect some of the merchandise that has come out about the movie. I like to collect the toys, video games, cups shaped like Woody's boot. I even have a lunchbox.
A lunchbox. We've got a lunchbox here.
A lunchbox? Lunchbox?
And if collecting comics has taught me anything, it's taught me that there is literally a comic book for everything, and Toy Story is no exception. Now back in 2010, shortly before Toy Story 3 was released, Disney licensed a bunch of their properties to Boom Kids to make them comic books, and their big headliner was Toy Story. And for Free Comic Book Day that year, Boom Kids released the first part in a 4-issue story arc called The Return of Buzz Lightyear. I have it right here. And it's a surprisingly solid tale from a studio that is definitely advertising to kids. Now, the question is, does it belong in your library? Well, let's go ahead and hop in and find out. The story kicks off when an ominous present appears from Andy's grandma, and all of the toys are freaking out. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about this. They do this kind of thing all over the place in this book. So, on the second page, Rex uses the word inconceivable and uses it like in a good sense. It uses it correctly. Now, why is this funny? Well, those of you who know the cast of the movie know that Wallace Shawn voiced Rex. And if you recognize Wallace Shawn, you probably recognize him from this movie, The Princess Bride. And if you recognize him from The Princess Bride, you'll recognize his very, 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 very famous line.
That would be inconceivable. As I told you, it would be absolutely, totally, and in all other ways, inconceivable. Inconceivable.
He didn't fall? Inconceivable.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Anyway, the toys are trying to figure out what this present is, and they're all throwing out guesses, but Buzz knows exactly what it is. It is a Star Command box. It is a character from the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command TV series. Yeah, I know that, and that's kind of fun, right? Like, it's canon now because of this book. I love that kind of stuff. An alert is sounded, Andy is coming, all of the toys go back to their spots. Andy is super excited, he opens up the present, and his face just drops. He's kind of bummed out. Now, Andy's mom is like, good thing your grandma gave us a gift receipt. We'll go ahead and we can exchange it after dinner. Once Andy leaves the room, the toys come back to life, and Buzz is, understandably concerned. This toy hasn't even had a chance yet. Why is he being returned? He hasn't done anything wrong. So Buzz opts to go up there on top of the desk and talk to him. Woody's like, no, that's a bad idea. There's a reason why this is happening. You don't want to get up there. Buzz doesn't listen. And when he gets up there, he is met face to face with Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Yeah, it just turns out Grandma gave Andy a duplicate Buzz Lightyear. I mean, I don't know what the problem was. I had many duplicate Buzz Lightyears growing up. It's kind of cool. Anyway, Buzz tries to talk to new Buzz about the situation, but of course, new Buzz has to believe that he is a space ranger. And after looking over Andy's Buzz and seeing kind of the wear and tear that Buzz has gained since the first movie, he believes that he's more capable of protecting the sector than old Buzz. Now, old Buzz doesn't want to leave. Understandably, I mean, he's Buzz. He's our Buzz, right? Buzz fights against Buzz, and then Woody hops in and he tries to stop it, but new Buzz knocks Woody off of the desk. Before Woody can get back on top of the desk, Andy comes back and takes the 2 Buzz Lightyear action figures and takes them back to the store to pick out a new Star Command recruit. But did he pick the right Buzz to return? A short time later, Andy has returned with Buzz Lightyear and his new toy, Booster of Star Command. It's no time for play though, it's time for bed. So Andy hops in bed with his Buzz Lightyear action figure and his Booster action figure, and it's at this point that Woody is able to get a clear look at the bottom of Buzz's boot and finds out that Andy did indeed return the wrong Buzz. Woody calls an emergency meeting under the bed, and after new Buzz and Booster come down, They take down the new Buzz and they demand that Booster takes them back to the toy store so they can get their Buzz back and they can return the correct one. Eventually, they finally do make it to the toy store. But no sooner do they find the Buzz Lightyear aisle does Booster start crying for help and all variants break loose. And this becomes a really, really fun action piece to look at. Woody is taking on Western Buzz, Rex is taking on a caveman Buzz, and it's really fun, but things start getting really bad really, really quick. That is when the real Buzz Lightyear makes his appearance. Real Buzz accuses the new Buzz of several crimes against the Galactic Alliance, and here to judge the proceedings is the all-powerful, all-knowing Ambassador Buzz Lightyear. Real Buzz pleads his case as wrongful imprisonment, conspiracy to return, and assault with a red crayon. But why? Why did this happen? And this is where we find out. New Buzz explains that he is the last original Buzz Lightyear action figure left on shelves. He is the last one from last season, but this season has been filled with new variant Buzz Lightyears. And whenever a kid comes to get a new Buzz Lightyear toy, they always pass by him and they pick up one of the new variants. And he mentions that, occasionally he's picked up, but every time he gets returned. And he's been returned so many times that he's afraid of going into the discount aisle next. Ambassador Buzz gets it. As a rare variant, he doesn't really expect to be picked up by a kid. He imagines that some adult collector will come pick him up. And because he is so sympathetic, Ambassador Buzz proposes a competition, a race around the world. And the winner of the race gets to go back home to Andy's house and gets to be Andy's toy. The two Buzz line up, and with the sound of a pop gun, they are on their way, and the race starts. Now, new Buzz understands the toy store very well, like he's been around the toy store quite a bit. Old Buzz, though, has a distinct advantage, and that is he has loose leg joints. Therefore, he can move a lot faster. New Buzz has nothing to lose, and he's not going to go down without a fight. He bounces on a trampoline, hops on top of the ball bin, he kicks down the door to the ball bin, and all of a sudden Buzz is assaulted with giant kickballs. Okay, now here come the final chapter spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, go ahead and jump to the time posted on the screen here. I don't want to spoil the story for you guys who don't want the story spoiled for you guys. Buzz gets hit by a kickball, but learns a fancy new trick. He finds his way on top of the kickball, and he finds if he runs backwards, he can continue to move forward. So that's what he does. New Buzz starts to panic, and he jumps off from on top of the ball crate, lands on Old Buzz, and they tumble through the finish line. An Etch-a-Sketch finish proves that Old Buzz does indeed win the race. Old Buzz wins the race, and New Buzz just glumly walks back to his box in the return section. It's kind of sad. Now the only remaining problem is that the toys were able to get into the toy store, but they can't seem to find a way out. There's only one vent up near the ceiling where they know they could actually get out. Buzz proposes that with him and Rocky working together, they can take some of the spare shelving that is in the toy store and build a ladder up to the vent. They make the makeshift ladder, and nearly everyone gets back up into the vent. They're waiting for the last couple. They're waiting for Woody and Buzz to get back up. All of a sudden, New Buzz reappears. This time, though, he's just here to make amends. He's sorry for what he did. He knows what he did is wrong. And he's just looking for forgiveness. And Old Buzz forgives him. The problem is, this cost them valuable time, and the ladder starts to crumble. Woody is able to get back up, and Buzz doesn't quite make it. Thankfully, though, New Buzz was able to hold up the shelving just long enough for Buzz to get up, and then it comes crashing down on New Buzz. New Buzz does give an okay signal, though. He's okay, he's still alive. And so the toys get out, and they make their way back to Andy's house. After this is done, though, this is when New Buzz sees what happened to him. He sees his reflection and sees that he's been damaged beyond repair. No kid is ever going to want him now. Don't worry, though. This story has a happy ending. Woody, Buzz, and the rest of Andy's toys do eventually make it back to Andy's house. Booster really enjoys being a toy because it's like being a space ranger without any of the danger. And what happened to New Buzz? Well, This is actually really nice. New Buzz gets back into his box, gets put back on the shelves, and there's a little boy who walks through the toy store, and he's looking for a new Buzz Lightyear action figure, and he sees the one that he really wants. He sees battle-damaged Buzz Lightyear. And thus continues what the book calls the never-ending toy story. Okay, so the spoilers are over. Welcome back to the video. If you left, if you didn't leave, then thank you for sticking around. Holy cow. Now, let's talk about the presentation for a bit. Holy cow! The writing is fan-friggin-tastic in this book. First of all, the story is just very solid. I often refer to it as Toy Story 1.5. And in fact, if I was to make a top 10 list of my favorite moments in the Toy Story franchise, a couple of those would likely be from this book. And I didn't even tell you the half of it. There's some fun moments here, like when Woody is pulled over by the police, or when Booster is convinced everyone has been taken over by Zandovian mindworms. They're great. I won't tell you how those parts end because you really just have to experience it yourself. Now, of course, the reason why the story works so well is because the writer, let's see, Jesse Blaze Snider. Yeah, the writer Jesse Blaze Snider just does a really, really good job at understanding the characters, how they talk, their mannerisms. It's high quality Pixar level work. It is definitely worthy of the title of Toy Story. I mean, we even have characters that have never talked before in this book start talking, like Mike or Rocky, and it just feels right. It feels so natural. Each moment of the story, if it's not essential to the story, at least serves to expand the Toy Story universe, make it feel bigger, make it feel more encompassing. The A+ writing does so much for the story, in fact, that I can probably learn to excuse the art, even though the art is really, really bad. The art is inconsistent, characters look very wonky sometimes. Yeah. Though, be prepared, the art is not the greatest in any comic book I've read. Characters don't look consistent between panels. Sometimes it's just downright ugly. But like I said, the story and the characters really serve to make this an essential reading in my mind. So I would say that if you're a fan of Toy Story, you need to pick up this book. If you're a fan of comics and you're looking to expand your comic collection outside of, the standard superheroes and such, I think this is a really good place to start. You can collect the issues here. I'll go ahead and list them off. Like I said, it's only 4 issues. I've noticed though Toy Story is kind of a harder book to find. You can also hop on Amazon and you can pick up the graphic novel edition. My copy was maybe $4, all things considered. And if you liked Toy Story, The Return of Buzz Lightyear, you might also like these. Like I said, Boom Kids got the license to a lot of Disney-based properties. And so, let's see, they did a bunch of Muppets comics. They've got Cars that was actually pretty good, Monsters Inc. They even got Mark Waid to write a bunch of Incredibles stories. And you don't know who Mark Waid is, you probably have heard of the DC story Kingdom Come. Yeah, he wrote that, so we got one of the biggest comic book writers ever to write The Incredibles. That's incredible. So, that's what I've got for you today. My question for you today is, who is your favorite Toy Story character? Also, what are your thoughts on Toy Story 4? And is a lettuce wrap a burrito? Or is burrito a wrap? Go ahead and put your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, until next time, thank you for joining me. Have a great day. And remember to always be your best self.